say you want a revolution.
Welcome back to the Alice Stewart Show, 7:06. Happy to be joined this hour with Republican strategist Laurie Lee. Laurie, great to have you here.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Senior account executive at Impact Management Group, keeping an eye on all things politics. And without a doubt, the news of today, the stage is now set for the U.S. Senate seat. Senator Mark Pryor is now facing challenger Congressman Tom Cotton. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's going to be a great race. I was listening coming in, and I think you guys are right on. I hate to say this, but I actually agree with Max Brantley in the fact that, can you believe I just said that?
I can't. We'll have to write that down. Laurie Lee agrees with Max Brantley.
Don't tell anybody.
We won't mention that. That's our little secret.
But, 25 million is going to be it's going to be a heated, hot, expensive race. I think Tom Cotton overwhelmingly resounds with the people of Arkansas, regardless of what the Democrat Party would like to spend. I think Arkansans have tired of big government and lots of taxes and overspending and overzealous bureaucrats. So,
and to say that, I agree, $25 million is probably a good guess for what will be spent here in Arkansas, and that's amazing given that Arkansas is a relatively inexpensive state to campaign in, given the ad rates are lower than other states, so it's inexpensive. But this is going to be a very valuable race, very important for nationally for the Republicans to gain that seat and Democrats to hold on to it. Right now, the breakup in the U.S. Senate, Democrats have a 52 to 46 advantage there in the Senate. They want to hold that. Republicans want to get it back. And this is going to be a key race because they see Senator Pryor as vulnerable, and they see Congressman Cotton as someone who can unseat him.
Absolutely. And I was laughing at the polls that they were talking about early this morning that I've heard because there was a poll done by Conservative Intel, and it was 587 voters, and they had Tom Cotton up by 2. But most important about this is that they had a disapproval rating for Senator Mark Pryor and said that there were only 33% that said that he deserved re-election. And the people that they polled in this poll, 37% of them described themselves as party affiliated with Democrats, and 33% as independents, and only 30% as Republicans. So that's a pretty stout poll.
That says a lot, given that number of Democrats viewing Senator Pryor unfavorable.
Yeah.
And it is because of his voting record. It's because his support for Obamacare, which is highly unpopular. The wheels are falling off Obamacare, and he has not been consistent on the other key issues that are important to Arkansans, being Second Amendment rights, traditional marriage, the life issue. Those are issues that he's had an election year conversion, but more than anything, Obamacare will be the signature issue in this race. And now that the field is set, the two men will go head-to-head on the issues and their record. And we are happy to be joined now with Congressman Tom Cotton, fresh off his announcement last night in Dardanelle. Congressman Cotton, good morning.
Good morning, Alice. How are you?
Great to have you here. We are here with Laurie Lee. I'm sure you're familiar with her, Republican strategist. We're both glad to have you joining us after your announcement. Just want to get your thoughts after having slept on it. What are your thoughts now that you are officially head-to-head against Senator Pryor?
I'm very excited, and I'm ready to go. We're all over the state of Arkansas today campaigning, and what a great blessing it was to kick off my campaign last night in my hometown of Dardanelle in front of my family and friends and schoolmates, teachers, coaches. Dardanelle is helped make me who I am today, and it was just an amazing evening with a tremendous amount of energy, and we're ready to go.
And in your main message that you hit on last night is Arkansas needs a senator who will stand with them against Barack Obama. You say when Senator Pryor says Arkansas first, he meant Obama first. Will that be a continuing theme throughout your campaign?
Yes, Alice, absolutely. Mark Pryor has been running for office for almost 25 years, and every time he says Arkansas comes first. But that's just not so. Over the last 4.5 years, Mark Pryor has been putting Barack Obama first. He was the deciding vote for Obamacare. He voted for Obama's wasteful stimulus. He votes with Barack Obama 90% of the time. And I don't think Arkansans agree with Barack Obama anywhere close to 90% of the time. They need a senator who will stand with them and stand up to Barack Obama and his disastrous policies.
And Congressman, you've been hit because some of the, of course, Senator Pryor's campaign says you've only been in Congress for a few days now, but you've been in there 7 months actually, and they say that you're a young guy in a hurry. And you stressed last night, well, maybe I am. I probably am, because there are some serious problems here, and they need to be addressed now.
That's right, Alice. We have grave problems facing our country, like Obamacare and like $17 trillion of national debt. I wish someone in Washington would be in a hurry to try to solve these problems, because I sure am. And I think that it's very telling that Mark Pryor is saying that I've been in office for only 7 months, yet he's been in office for 11 years, and he's not pointing to a single positive accomplishment that he's done. He's immediately started attacking me before I was even a candidate. I think that's just the sad and desperate attempt of a panicked politician to cling to power so he can keep promoting the Obama agenda.
Well, certainly Senator Pryor came out swinging and hit you right off the bat, and the Democratic Party of Arkansas has done the same, and I've pushed back in that your votes, they love to say that you voted against the Farm Bill when in fact you voted for it, but they hit you on a lot of issues, but what they're hitting you for is the fact that you are voting for what is fiscally responsible, what reins in the size of government, what gives exactly what the people of Arkansas want is smaller government, less spending. And I just want to, big picture, for you to comment on the Democratic Party hitting you for voting against women, farmers, students, and seniors. How would you address, you're going to be hit with this, how do you address that?
Well, Alice, I am voting for the values and the views of the people of Arkansas, for limited government, for self-reliance, for family, for community, for strong national security. I make no bones about that, and I'm very proud of my voting record. And you might think that Mark Pryor would be proud of his voting record after 11 years in office, but apparently he's not. Then again, if I were the deciding vote for Obamacare, I'd be running for my own record as well and trying to sling mud before my opponent was even in the race.
Well, no doubt I predict there will be a lot of mudslinging going on between now and next November, and this is going to be a huge race given that the control of the Senate hangs in the balance with just a few Senate races. And this race is receiving the eye of the nation with the makeup of the Senate could hinge on your shoulders. No pressure there. But clearly with Senator Pryor having $4 million in the bank, you have a little over $1 million. Where does your campaign stand on filling up those coffers so you can really take him on in the money battle that is straight ahead?
Well, I think we're off to a great start, Alice, but we always need support from people across the state of Arkansas. They can go to tomcotton.com, or they can register to get email updates from us. They can follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. You can pitch in a few dollars at our website as well. We're trying to sign up a grassroots army of conservative Arkansans all around the state who are ready to get a senator who stands with Arkansas.
And in terms, we all recall in the 2010 election, Obamacare was critical and that people didn't like it, even though we weren't really familiar with what all entailed. And that I viewed as, having worked with the NRCC and NRSC in that campaign, that was the deciding issue that dealt the final blow to Blanche Lincoln, her vote for Obamacare. And in this race, now that we know what Obamacare is, we know that it's not viable and it's not ready for prime time. The president himself has pushed back the employer mandate, and you and your colleagues in Congress pushed back the employer mandate and the individual mandate. It's falling apart, and Senator Pryor voted for that. How critical is that going to be in this race?
I think Obamacare is going to be a central issue in this race. Mark Pryor cast the deciding vote for Obamacare. He defends it to this day. Just last night in Northwest Arkansas, Mark Pryor said Obamacare is, quote, an amazing success story.
Oh,
in his mind.
I'm very happy to have that debate with Mark Pryor, with the people of Arkansas, on whether Obamacare is an amazing success story. It's driving up the cost of health care. It's driving down the quality of it. It raids Medicare, and it's going to ration and restrict care for seniors, especially those on Medicare, like my parents, like my grandmother. It's going to raise our taxes. It's going to add to our debt. It's going to subsidize abortion with taxpayer dollars. It's going to turn part-time work into the new normal for Arkansas. If that's what Mark Pryor thinks is an amazing success story, I'd hate to see what he thinks is a bad news story.
Exactly. It's that is a phony scandal, if you ever want to call one. If there's ever a phony scandal, it's the success of Obamacare.
Hey, Congressman, it's Laurie. How are you?
I'm doing well, Lori. How are you?
Very, very well. Hey, I'm very excited, and thanks for standing up and being the guy in the hurry to come to the aid of Arkansas. And my view is that a lot of these things that you've voted, so what they're trying to spend is against, is actually a vote for fiscal responsibility and a vote for less government and a vote for people to take more personal responsibility. And my hope is that you are able to, in your campaign, to articulate that. And I'm sure you guys are working on that messaging to the people of Arkansas that it's not a vote against women or children or whatever, but it's a vote for fiscal responsibility. So if you could just share briefly how you can take that message and give it to the people of Arkansas that these votes against the student loan project, against the women's is a vote for the fact that we need to watch our dollars, and there are already things in place to take care of violence against women.
I always vote in the United States House on the views that I share with my constituents and what I think is best for the state of Arkansas and for our country. And you're right that in Washington, politicians and bureaucrats are playing a corrupt game. They're taking your tax dollars and they're spending it on all these big government programs that don't benefit Arkansans, but just empower and enrich Washington, D.C. elites. Meanwhile, they're handing out special favors and privileges, not to Arkansans, but to the politically connected and the crony capitalists. So every vote I'm casting in Washington, D.C. is a vote for fiscal responsibility. It's a vote for individual liberty. It's a vote for the free enterprise system, the things that made Arkansas great and the things that go back to the founding of our country.
All right, Congressman Cotton, I know you have a big, heavy day today, a full schedule. You're going all over the state. I just want to say it was actually a pleasure to see your dad and your mom last night. I hadn't seen them before, but they were. It's great to see them. I hope you utilized them out there on the campaign trail, and appreciate your time this morning and hit the trail. We know you have a lot of work to do, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you, Alice. Great to be with you.
All right, have a great day. And once again, Congressman Tom Cotton announcing for U.S. Senate. You can go to his website and find out more about the campaign. You can go to tomcotton.com. And Laurie, the race is on.
It's on, and we're ready.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about more this and also national politics coming up on the Alice Stewart Show.
The Alice Stewart Show on 96.5 The Voice.